third rounds of each half have been a little bit more flip-floppy for them, but maybe they can flip the flop a little bit back.
Maybe. I think that Soniqs, one thing that they've struggled with it previously in series against the Renegades is pistol rounds, but we actually saw them do a lot better at them this event. I don't know what it is, but they kind of turned up a little bit more. So those are always a great precedent setter for them. Always great early on if you can pick those up. But into the match now. Soniqs up on the defense, and this looks pretty similar to what we saw before. They were kind of working off that 4A stack occasionally, but they're in a bit more of a default setup. Retake towards the B site with 2A, 2C, and for the Renegades, A and mid seem to be the approach early on here.
I think early on, too, both of these teams up against each other like to poke a lot towards B. We're not seeing that too much here on this pistol round, but some KJ utility gonna be baited out early on. TP2, frenzy in hand, waiting to see what's gonna happen next if Ian peeks out. But no, actually it's gonna be the entire team going on in themselves. Guy comes on by. Boy, not able to find anything right off the rip, but look at this. Double peaks coming out from left and right. Doesn't matter when they're caught off guard. Sharp at hand, meltdown goes through. Mostly in the favor of RNG. Soniqs only having 2.5 people left alive. The Astra heavily lit up. Plant's gonna go under. 2 on CT, some garage presence, but not enough to really stifle things out just yet. Have to push on forwards, play as a team, and hold those angles. Look at CP2. The turret goes up on top as well from Randy Savage's side. The wall is locked off from the right. Astra utility trying to stifle out a little bit more, but they poke on forwards completely blind. A double kill comes out from the Astra side, but no, they all fall at once.
Great work there from the Renegades. I like that they stay on site, don't greed for that long control. The wall and garage means that they have all their duels isolated towards the defender's side, and Roy does Roy things with the birds, blinds out the Aussies, and they get felled pretty easily. Nice start off for the Renegades. They'll buy up. Soniqs don't normally force, and they won't this time.
The buy-up does come out from RNG, though. This has always been a bit of a difficult round for Soniqs, but they also didn't win the pistol round. A little uncharacteristic from the recent series that we've seen today, but, I mean...
Going back to basics.
That's true. Mimi... yeah, I guess so. But, win condition here, Mimi. Look at this. They're all bunched up and approaching A.
Yeah, Soniqs, they're kind of stacked a bit towards B, wanted to see if they could at least do some damage there. That might have been being ready for the lurk up, that might have just been looking for something or these early rotations. Well, now here, the extent of the A push, and will start to come on in. Bob should be that first man up to bat, and he'll be the first man to fall. Wins him, he's someone we need to see hitting his shots, and he'll hit one, but the trade's good through from Crunchy. Bit of damage through the Nebula. They're trying to find their way out of this, but with just the pistols, I don't really fancy their chances. Soniqs fall back for now, trying to look for some over-aggression, trying to look for some exits here.
Yeah, last two alive now. It's gonna be Soniqs again, finding themselves in a bit of a disadvantage. The turret goes up. Unfortunately, it's the final thing they can do, but they're live. Iron falls. Last one alive now, Plix. Before, they were able to get a really nasty shot with the Judge last game. Not so much here, though. Trying to find some shots on the Randy Savage with the help of the turret. Able to knock down the health all the way. And that's a very quick duo so far.
Yeah, a nice little conversion up from the Renegades, and I like the call there. Go quick towards A, circumvent any stack potential, any dangerous games that could go out. I think also an interesting comparison is that CP2 does play the Astra pretty differently than Dizzy. We talked about this in our last series, in that Crunchy and Dizzy really kind of don't share that smoking role too much. Dizzy is majority using those gravity wells or those nebulas, or I'm sorry, not the nebulas, rather the pulses to concuss, whereas Crunchy is really focused on just that smoking roll with the Omen that allows things like these gravity wells to be used often, whereas just with that solo Astra for CP2, he kind of has to do it all.
I think that's part of the magic of Astra too, is that the stars go down all the same, but the utility usage is very different for every single team. It's definitely hard to keep an eye on your toes though, but look at the toes, they're getting shot out from below. It's actually going to be some of the smokes we mentioned coming up already on B Link. And now Winsome, having towards the back end of the site, overextending a little bit, going towards CT's side of C. Able to find Ian. Flashback comes up. Oh, straight into the noggin. That's going to hurt so much. Meltdown underway. Soniqs down to 3 again. A minute left on the clock. The spike transferring its way over to C after the failed attempt on the B side itself. 7 seconds left, and we're seeing again, just like the pistol round, Mimi. All the members of Soniqs banding together on CT side, trying to play together. Nova Drone does come through. Except this time, Dizzy's able to find one, maybe find the conversion. Good for one, good for two. And CP2, last one alive. Having to find different angles, able to find the flick on the one, but not enough to confirm the kill.
Yeah, really nice. Out of the Soniqs there, I mean, it looked like they weren't going to be able to convert for a moment, but good kind of heroic plays pressuring in from Garage. There was just a bit too much fight in the Renegades. They knew they had the lesser buy. They knew they had the lesser weapon, so wanted to take those duels. It was the right idea. They were just isolated too well by the Soniqs. They find their response. However, now Renegades up on their rifles. Plicks down to the judge. This is going to be an important one coming into round number 4. I'd expect to see the Renegades try and work off of maybe an orb for Randy. He's only 1 off of that lockdown. Retro 2, only 2 off of his resurrection. Renegades normally play pretty well to be keeping that up. And Randy, definitely a guy to watch out for, even though he is that supportive sentinel role.
Early Hawk is going to goes out. And now we see Crunchy and company down below in the slow trying to find those early peaks. Unfortunately, it doesn't go the way they hoped. It's actually going to be a double kill in the favor of RNG's side. Now, backing up a little bit more, Winsome and company catching them off, trying to go back to the execute or evacuate. And again, you see Soniqs 2v5 situation, both stranded apart. Wondering though, Iron Falls, is this going to be either a flank coming through for Plix or maybe a bit of a save?
Yeah, just the judge. Maybe if he gets the gun, he could consider it. Damage is the name of the game.
Yeah, going through A link though, it's gonna be super difficult because you don't have the range.
No, if they push him here, he gets the frags. But RNG doesn't have a huge reason to. They might just for fun. Just go for it. You know, would be death for Winsome. Not ready for the judge. Yeah, he's a weapon up. He can save that.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna go back and double dip. Oh no. Okay. Well, that's why you don't triple dip.
Nice little round there from the Renegades. They only lose 2 in the end, and these A-side executes have been really stellar. We saw the Soniqs trying to get aggressive a bit there towards the sewer side, but they just kind of line up for Retro. He finds that one comboed in with CP2, and the attempts were right from the Soniqs. Like, you do have to try and fight back in there. Bob did the right thing to peek out, but unfortunately, he was just a bit too isolated, not able to do anything else with it. So it will be 3rd round on the board for the Renegades. Soniqs this time off of that scuffed buy. They're going to be down just to the pistols and trying to see if they can make anything work damage-wise.
Round starts immediately. We're seeing a little bit more aggression than usual coming out from RNG's side. They're really switching it up every single round, Mimi, and it's working out pretty well for their favor. Immediately execute on the B side. We do see some smokes coming through. Winsome, though, focus mostly on A side. Finds one, goes for one. Maybe finds 2, a little bit out of the reach, but he's able to find Dizzy all the same. The reload may find one more. It's actually stolen away by CP2. But again, same result.
Dude, Winsome is on something, man. I don't know what it is about him, but even when they have money, he will sometimes just invest in that judge. He loves the gun, and it combos so well. I think this guy, if I'm recalling correctly, in every single official he has played, he has only ever played Raze. Like, the dude is a Raze main through and through, and the way that he works off of the judge with it as well is really nice to watch. So good work there from RNG. They keep it clean, another anti-eco. But now the Soniqs do have money to work back in here. I want to see if the A fight can go better for them, because that's been a big struggle. And if they keep losing this A fight, they're not going to be winning rounds.
No, by no means. Well, look at this. Crunchy down below, slowed yet again. This was not a really good trade for Soniqs last time, but they're going to go for it again. Early come up, though. Find a double. Maybe make it a triple. No, can't line it up, but they do. They recorrect themselves
oh my God.
4K. Beautiful. Can they find the ace? Very possible. Dizzy. Going for the reload. Plays it safe. Finds the intel. Could very well be lined up here. Let's see if they can do it. And he pokes up a little bit more. Has some utility work with. And no! Denied the ace. It's going to be 2 left alive, though.
You could win this.
Very much so. Look at this Plix, though, on short. 1 left alive on the attack. And they fall all the same.
Really nice job to Dizzy there. It may not be his jet, but sometimes he is playing the Astra like he is one. Getting super aggressive there towards short, making the play, finding some individual impact onto these frags, and it was just bit of a mess up from the Renegades. They were trying to swing out for the trade, but they do it one at a time, allow these duels to be isolated. Great work to Dizzy to keep it nice and clean for the team. That's a really important round for the Soniqs. They were starting to lose momentum, but I can feel that this round is going to be pretty chaotic because there are 10 ults in the server.
Everyone has all of them all set up, and we haven't seen a single one used yet. Of course, as we say that, early showstopper coming out by for the aggress. No, Blick's not able to find anything. Has to go through the mollies and make their way back. A lot of damage for no execution on the showstopper, dialing it back a little bit more. I think because of all the ult economy in line, we're seeing RNG play very slowly here for the execution.
Yeah, they're trying to bait more of these ults out. That was kind of a cool combo. You saw the gravity well trying to set him up with the showstopper. Didn't quite happen. No one was there to receive. I think we've seen them do that before. It's pretty standard for them. But here comes the Seekers for Roy, and great gravity well. It's going to pull two in. The nade to combo forces them away from that initial garage intention. And Crunch even ults for info. They know that it has to be mid, and Retro regroups with his team. They're going to try and work A here, but there are ults for the retake.
Absolutely, Mimi. There are ults to use here. We do see the Ash Wall coming up, dividing most of the CT lines of sight. That being said, though, Spike going to be going towards A side. Anyone on ACT might have a huge time going past. No real info to work with. Not a lot of intel, and luckily, for, I guess, RNG side, no sounds to work with against Soniqs. Now they can poach on forwards a little bit more. We do see Bob have 1 star nearby, and the Killjoy is going to make things a little bit more difficult
here comes
for
the nade.
RNG. But there you go, the blast back at the grenade, not going to connect though, but it allows more time for them to find yet another one. Beautiful work from Winsome, able to hold down on green box side, going for the split, not going to find it either. We do see a lot of positions now being held. With that being said, 5 players detained and through the whole server. That's almost everybody there. Now, Roy, liking his time to strike, comes in from the back, tries to make something work. He goes in for the flank, might be able to find one. There goes the Astra, and cleans up the whole map.
Renegades really mopping up here early on. They're up 3 rounds. So much was committed into that round. We started off with 10 ults. 6 were committed there. 2 on the side, the Renegades, 4 up for the Soniqs. And I was afraid for a moment that Winsome's nade missing could have cost him the round. It nearly did, but luckily Roy maintained his freedom. He was never detained up, able to work back in, find the trades as the rest of his boys got freed. So it's a bit of a tough spot for the Soniqs. Of course, this is generally an attacker-sided map, but we still want them to get at least 4 or 5 rounds. Want this to be close, and you know, if you're a fan of the Soniqs, you definitely want them to pull out this series.
Definitely a fan of Bob and his utility as well, but the recon bolts and the shock darts haven't amounted to a whole lot in the early game just yet. CP2 and company, though, looking to push up a little bit more. There was some aggression coming through on a long, but now it's going to be on short, and that's where the opening pick comes through. Randy Sandwich is able to find Crunchy. The Omen smokes are gone, and now so much happening. Oh, what's the dog? Finds a kill. It's miraculous. But now, unfortunately, it's going to be down to just 1 for Sonic side. Flex finds himself the duelist again, last alive here, having to rotate around on A side. I think you have to go for the play here. It's a 1v4. They could go elevate for heaven.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, you're not losing a whole lot, right? Already a 1v4. They can't really go through with the Sage Wall. Maybe they try to break it open, but mostly only heaven side, and that's everywhere where RNG's looking.
Yeah, if he gets a couple shots here, that's great for the Soniqs. It's some damage. Roy messing around with his animals, won't find much off of it. I really love the Sky play. Every time I get to watch Roy, it's really excited to see what he can do, because I think he's probably the most creative Sky player in our region. The way that he sets up some of his spurts, even when he's not fragging on an individual level, he sets up the Renegades really well for success. So always exciting to see that come into play. But now for the Soniqs, I think that this A control has been an issue for them. They need to readapt a little bit, work off of this. Early on, we saw them kind of using the Astra utility to delay the A lobby control, but they were never really fighting off of it, which meant they never really had much control to work with, and the Renegades were always just forcing through. The gravity wall's up, no smoke to follow. Actually, no, never mind, there it is. It's a dark cover instead, and Crunchy has TP'd across. Great angle here, but Winsome's ready for the fight. He'll TP back. Great call, play it safe. Now Dizzy, no way Winsome wins that.
The sheer amount of utility being brought out is just so devastating for both sides on the A. It's a bit of a forfeit there. 1 body is lost on Soniqs. They do both all relegate themselves away from that point. Back on the B and A side. Now, of course, we do see the dog coming out. No intel really gained, but Plex able to find maybe 1, almost 2, but actually it's stolen away by Iron's Molly instead. Holy moly, though. Bodies fall all the same. Soniqs, though, down 2-2. And they're both fractured apart completely. One on a bit of a flank going to C, the other one going to CT side. Very long time for both of them to get close to the site. They are sandwiching what's left of RNG, but even then, blocked off up top by smoke utility down below. Probably lines of sight ready, especially with the turret. You have to be Bob now. Approaching forwards. They do have the utility for recon. They do have a Sova drone to work with as well.
Nice one,
they
Bob.
just have a drone to work with. All right, well, let's see what that can do here. Unfortunately, not a whole lot. The Molly's stifling his way as well, but it's going to allow more time for Crunchy to poke on forwards. He's able to bring down 1, but the time is running out. There's not a whole lot of time for Crunchy to work with, though. Everyone inside the garage. He could try to sneak his way over for the defuse. He's almost able to lock eyes with another one, but just stall the time. CP2 pushing up. It might be too little too late. It's not even on half, and there's no time. He's got to get the hell out of there.
Unfortunate for Crunchy. It was the great play, right? They set themselves up on long. Bob was in good position, but unfortunately he gave away his position with that missed start. They pinched in on him, found him. Crunchy had a great attempt, and just a little unlucky. Honestly, I feel like Crunchy, he's been having so much impact lately. Despite them putting on smokes, he is still such a capable fragger. Really one of the most impressive players for me on the Sonic side. And that's when we talk about this roster being one that always has someone to step up to the plate, well, that's what we're seeing here. Because even when they're on the supportive characters, someone is always ready. Someone is always able for the clutch for the fight. And
like an
unfortunately there for the Sonics, just not quite able enough. They're looking for some long control here on C. It's just Ian holding down, but here comes the showstopper Max.
Oh, no.
Ian does make it out in time. The bot slows him down. Winston still looking for this. This could still connect, won't. Ian all the way back in spawn, so a retake on the cards. And great shot from Dizzy to find CP2 in mid. Now a gun can get recovered, and now a chance for the Sonics.
Absolutely, and what that showstopper not connecting either, great amount of pressure and space being created for RNG side. We do see the Marshall connecting though against Roy. He's gonna go for the heal on his teammates, but unfortunately not for themselves. Standing perfectly away, making sure that he won't be hit yet again. But look at that, the paint grenade could be the ultimate sacrifice and does fall to it. Now we do have a few more on CT side. Rain's going back and forth. Winsome trying to find the angle, does connect for one, makes it two actually. Our collect comes by and now 1v1. Have to see what happens now with Ian. Holding down the floor with the Astro Wall on the way. But the Astro Wall though may not be aware that the defuse is going by. Has the poke forward, still gets the shot and wins the round.
Great read on the timing there for Retro. He knew the Astro Divide was up. I'm sorry, the Cosmic Divide, rather. And he knew that he had to be ready for it. Just kind of counting in his head to see when to peek, when to go for it. Finds the timing perfectly. They had to try and stick on there. Another close one for the Sonics. They keep getting these rounds down to the wire, but that's not going to cut it because the economy is still great for the Renegades. The momentum is still great for the Renegades. But the Sonics now have the rifles. I want to see them try that mid-aggression again. It worked super well on that eco. They found a pick off of it. I just want to see them getting aggressive, I think. Getting the momentum going, getting the fraggers to have those opportunities early on. They're really good at it. That's one of the success points for the Sonics. And the Renegades, too, like, they're a pretty fast team. If you can get that info early, you can rotate pretty handily. It will oftentimes work out well for you.
TLDR, play fast. And we're kind of seeing that right now with Crunchy in the back of the rocks here. Might be a little poke on forward. CP2 going for the Seekers. No, it's actually Roy instead, but they fall anyways. Now we could see the aggression come forwards. We are getting your wish commanded though, looks like Mimi. And now melting of bodies away. Two left alive for RNG side. We're down to two possible ult wielders now. The KJ into a revive, so now possibly two again. And now the rotate could be called to go to C. Recon Bolt's going to detect where Retro is. I'm curious, Mimi, is the call to go to C, or should they stick on A, maybe bait out rotates?
47 seconds, they can cut noise, try and find a pick. Randy's in position mid. If he finds a frag here, that's a round-winning moment for the Renegades.
Oh, but Ian...
A little starved of info. But look, he still has his turret, though. He'll know if they push towards B. Here comes the Hunter's Spirit as well. This nullifies it. It was likely just a fake, but... Wait. Hello?
No, it wasn't. It's a full
No
execute.
way.
And the Hunter's Fury misses. This is huge. RNG take control of B-side again. 20 seconds left. Trying to clear that space. Gain control. Gain as much land as they can. But look at that. Plix is able to find one. Level the odds a little bit more. Paint Grenade goes down. Could it be a sacrifice? The answer is maybe yes. It doesn't connect, though. Stays back and forth. 3v1, maybe a 2v1 now. Randy Savage staying alive, but can't find the headshot of the Sova.
I thought the call there was pretty good. Randy Savage likes working these lurks up mid. He had the ult in hand and is looking to use it. I think even Renegades thought that they were going to have to reset there. I think they thought that the Hunter's Fury was going to connect. I did too, but it doesn't. Ult doesn't get shut down, so kind of last second, without many smokes to work with, without much cover, they're pushed in. The pinch comes through from the Lynx, and the round comes out. It all started well with this. I mean, we can see it on the replay. Great play from Crunchy. Roy doesn't check the angle. A little too over-fixated on the utility, so too is CP2. So while it gets close, Sonics have two, and I mean, even if they find a 4-8 half here, totally doable. A respectable half on Haven.
Absolutely doable here. But this half is going to be really important. Sonics losing the opening round, losing the buy-up round as well. They have to make it back, especially on the defense here. I'm sorry, on the attack. But now we do see that wall broken down again inside of Garage. Ian and company holding a bit of an angle. It's actually going to be Dizzy behind the boxes there as well. Curious to see if this is going to be a full-on aggression, especially with the double Molly and Stars on the ground. It's tough, but doable. Dizzy Life still holding the angle, dodging the pre-fires through the box. TP2 marching on forwards, going for the gravity well, almost collapsing too, but misses both. May still be good for one, but finds 0 instead. The healer, the giver of life and death, being able to heal themselves a tiny bit more is going to be important here. And now, only losing 1 for Soniqs. This is not a good way to close the half.
They still have 3 outs to work with here. They have that 2 that are going to be excellent on the retake. I think they give a sight here. Just play together, work this trade game. Try and isolate the Renegades, but right now they don't have much information, Max. Crunchy might be about to find it. Spots out the dog, and, well, how many does he see? He doesn't know Winsome Cross. That timing is crucial, but he at least suspects it. Now the rotate's called, and it might not be a retake because Crunchy's looking to fight.
Astral Divide comes up once again. Bob pushing on forwards through the smoke. Doesn't realize that 3 are around the corner. Goes for the flip for 1, but gets traded out immediately. Flicks trying to confirm for 1. Showstopper doesn't connect. Trying to use as much as they can now for ult utility. 3K for Randy Savage. Dialing it back a little bit more. Defense Killjoy. Reigning true. Does confirm away. And they escape in time. The answer is yes, but not by much. No! There is a detain. Is it the sky?
10 seconds.
I believe so. Oh no, but they still have to march on forwards anyways. Ian, last one alive. Trying to deny the plant that they have to find the sky, but no, miss instead. Sabi2 gets the shot, and it's a 9-3 half.
Could have gotten really risky there for a second for the Renegades. Ian had a chance, but CP2, the safe hands, to shut it down, allow the spike to get planted, and it's a great half out of the Renegades on their map pick. They sit up 6, and if they convert the pistol, well, it might be the Sonics starting to think about that map too, but still, that's not the consideration quite yet. We've seen crazier comebacks already today.
Holy moly, absolutely. The Soar Sonics matchup number 1 was 10-2, and we saw Soar come back and make it incredibly winful, or an incredible win.
Winful?
Yeah, you know, it's a word somewhere,
maybe he
I'm
can
sure.
change his name.
Yeah, I mean, new dictionary word, 2021, maybe. But look at this, though. 9-3, RNG have a very stalwart hold on this matchup. But now Sonics are a little shaky on the attacking through these last few series. I'm curious to see if they can win the pistol here.
Yeah, definitely going to be an important round for them to win. We see them kind of working some mid-control here, trying to aggress up a bit. But look at the KJ setup. It's really nice from Randy Savage. It means that they don't have to worry about the B site or garage whatsoever, because they'll have the information. Now that info given over, the play is for the retake. Flicks for the paint shells back site. And this is completely clear. Renegades on the retake, aforementioned.
A little suspiciously clear, huh? 2 inside garage. May drop their way down. Frenzy wielding clicks right on the other side. Finds the Ferrari peak almost into 2, but gets traded out. CP2 now good for 1. Able to hold down a very good defense here. They have to push on forwards to defuse the spike. Problem is, though, both teams are down a body. We are seeing a lot of smoke potential, at least coming on by, covering the spike as well as flashes. Onside garage. Come back through, maybe. Retro's able to find 1, Winsome confirmed for another, creating that space, but being denied by the shots coming down. On site, though, they're trying their best. The Ghost actually going to find another one instead. 1 left alive. Bob relegated back towards C long. He tried his best, but unfortunately, again, RNG, through very much a close call, is able to find the defuse. Maybe not so much. 5 seconds.
I just had flashbacks to the last time we saw Renegade Sonics, because I think it was the same, I think it was practically the same pistol round on Haven. Renegades used that wall really well on the retakes. We saw it there. Yeah, the fight was close on the site. Ian in for a lot of work on that, but they saved the save wall. They saved the save wall. They saved the sage wall. Excuse me. So we see there, Retro places it. It allows that spike to just be stuck and the remainder of RNG to just commit into the fight. And that's really hard to contend with when you just have pistols. You don't have those automatic rifles to remove the segments of the wall. So great work from the Renegades. They find themselves up 7. Now the Sonics definitely on the back foot here, although they have decided to invest in some upgraded pistols, maybe trying to do something with this round.
And this is a very haphazard buy too from Sonics. It's definitely the best that they can do at the moment, but there are 2 Sheriffs and 3 Spectres on the board. They do have a little bit of coverage at every which angle, but still, they have to find the shots. Man aggression could be the way to go, the shortest distance sight for all of them. Recon bolt gonna be true. Molly utility on left side. They have to create that space and move on forwards, but look at this though. Winsome unafraid goes for the boom bot instead. It'll be good to clear out some site utility. Look at Roy though, able to find good for 1, gets traded out, but the spike goes down anyways. Winsome and company, last packing their way forwards. The judge! Trying to rotate over, and Retro with a triple is gonna bring it back. Now 1 point away from match point.
The B to A call is really cool. I like it a lot, honestly. Get that B control, continue to pressure, because the issue with the B side is once you get into the retake, you don't hold much space. You only hold that mid. It's hard to fight your way out, but when you take the space, you take the Lynx. It works well, but you can't take Lynx well. Retro is on duty. Besides just the judge, it was also a really nice combo with CP2 because remember that gravity well does make your opponent vulnerable. Doubles that damage, and it only takes one shot with the judge at a range like that to just decimate an entire team.
You know what? That happened to go by so fast. I didn't even realize the gravity well was in use.
Yeah. Soniqs forced up last round too, right? So they're on another scuff to buy. They lose this. They're kind of their economy's gonna be bad the rest of the game unless they pull something off, and Ian just might. Snuck up, past the mollies, finds Roy. Wasn't able to recover the gun though, but still they hold this advantage. They can chill out for the moment, try and punish Renegade's aggression if it comes.
Oh, and the IGL of RNG does follow 2 bodies. In fact, look how heavily damaged Randy Savage, was now. It's going back and forth again, but not so much in the favor of RNG's side. It's actually going to be Retro now. Last one alive tries to break the alarm, but unable to do so. Only having a Guardian, it is a bonus. It's not intentional, designed to entirely win, but this is still not the prettiest position to be in. Not on a full buy. 1v4. They're hunting the Sage down. Still some utility to work with. They do have a slow, and they could self-heal. Oh, with all this damage coming on through from garage side, that could be good for the rotate now. Still holding on to this Guardian. May be able to make something work here. Can approach the way to garage. Take down Plix, but unable to do so.
NT Retro, that was a really nice round from Ian especially. We talk about his lurks, especially on Icebox. I feel like that's where we talk about him the most. But here on Haven too, he's really successful with them. Pushing up through Link, past the mollies like we mentioned, finds that opener. And then like we kind of forewarned, when Renegades is down a man, they obviously need to push up. Try and make a play, try and make some aggression, and, well, it falls against them. And, well, it is a round for the Soniqs. Renegades still up at 11, still not going to start thinking that this is one yet. They just need to take this round by round. The boys need to not get the mental in the way. They just need to chill out and win, and just keep going.
Still a bit of a scuff by, though. 2 Guardians and a Bulldog after winning that last round. I'm a little surprised.
I mean, I think they're bonusing onto some of those weapons, so that might be why. But they still did have to reinvest some. Makes it a bit costly. Ian, it's a little rough. CP2 not found, but Ian can fall away. Doesn't want to give his gun to the sheriffs.
Light flashing before Ian's eyes with those sheriff shots. Curious, though. We are seeing a bit of a slower round here. Soniqs, again, maybe playing into that scuffed by a bit. Not going to be fully dedicating to a site. Whole lot of collaborating happening inside of B, though, for the defense. Kind of roaming their way around. I'm wondering if they're going to play aggressive here or just hold down B and A. They've given up control of A completely, and it seems like that might be a bit of a bad call.
Seems to be. I like the mid control here. Ian has one. Shut down by CP2. Like now that's a gun they can get. This is getting risky. The Soniqs need to readapt. They need to push off of that because the flank's a factor. I'd almost like to see them take CT control. Don't get pinched. They need to fight their way out and stop this crunch before it happens.
Absolutely. 30 seconds left. That spike's to go into the ground, but look at this, a 4v4. Still pushing forwards. There are going to be some Astra utility onto the ground. Every which corner, every which pinch that the RNG team could use. That being said, though, look at this. We are seeing Winsome poking their way into the base, unable to find anybody right away, but 2 to the lower left, being gigantic. Missing the shots on 1, on both. It's the Guardian that beats out Winsome. The wall goes on up. Tries to go for the defuse. Some inside short, trying to hold down the fort. At least a little bit more. No, it's at half. Shotgun, being able to find another one. It's actually going to be a sheriff instead. Now it's match point for RNG.
They should not have been able to pull that round off. I don't know how that happened to the Soniqs. They tucked in, and then the pins just came out. They were playing way too passive. They allowed those close angles to come up. Those are the fights that you cannot be winning with the rifles. Up against SMGs, up against sheriffs. When you let them get close, that's when it gets risky, and that happened. The danger of Renegades as a team always continues to show through, and those little mistakes made when you're already down so heavily are punishing. This now would take 8 in a row for the Soniqs to come back into it, and Bob only has a sheriff.
It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely at this point. We are seeing a little bit more some success on the second half for Soniqs. That's not by much when RNG winning the last round. CP2 going for some pop shots, able to find a lot of damage against Bob. But extending on over, trying to find some more shots, not really succeeding in doing so. But it's stalling out all of Soniqs in the process. They had to go for this execute on C, right?
Maybe. We're still just
Maybe.
finding some space. Ooh, look at the push up towards mid, blinds out the turret. But there's a player in the pocket. Ian, not caught off guard. Good for the first. Winsome trying to fight back in with the boom buddy. He breaks the crosshair placement, finds the frag off of it. And now Roy comes back into play with a resurrection. Hunter's Fury up though. Tag connects, kill to follow. Roy back onto the floor. So it's into this 4-on-4 odds, but the health dripping away. One so low, but Dizzy so fast with the headshot onto CP2. And now with 47 seconds left, this wall, where's it gonna go?
RNG having a man disadvantage right now. That wall does go on up. It's going to delay a lot of audio cues, especially on C site. Seeing the stars go down there could give tell about it being a C execute, but it's all bait. It's a Sage wall. Top of A short. Oh, they're going to poke on through it. No way for the Sage to be elevated up top. Is good for Retro. May have a good chance of getting so many different kills. Unaware. Finds one. Almost finds two. Through the wall. Finds a triple kill. Maybe make it a 4 game. It goes down instantly. Dizzy instead, now 1v2, tries to hold the fort, able to be good for one, but Winsome comes for a trade. That's going to be map number 1 going to RNG's favor.
Oh, the Renegades, they take their map pick pretty handily. It's what we hypothesized, it's what we expected for them to look dominant on Haven, but it was even more so than last time. These boys came out to play. They had a great read on the Soniqs. Clearly, they did their homework. They did the VOD reviews. They looked back at that and came in with some creativity. Came in with some strats. I thought that the aggression was really great on their attacker side. They never let